This is Jared for Into Boxing. Delighted to be joined by Kaash Johnson. First and foremost, how are we, Kaash?
Mate, I'm brilliant. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Want to talk to you. You're fighting on the upcoming show at Kingswood in Stoke, the Black Atoms promotion in partnership with GTM Partners. Your first fight back since 2019, if I'm right. Can you tell us? Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, 3 years to the day.
3 years to the game. Can we ask the reason behind why you haven't been in the ring since 2019?
Obviously we were locked down. I was due to fight Jack O'Keefe for the Midlands title, March of 2020, and then we were locked down. So we had a lot of complications with lockdown and COVID. We had about 4 or 5 fights fall through COVID lockdown where we were supposed to fight behind closed doors. And then we moved on, got out of COVID, and then unfortunately in June last year I was stabbed, victim of a stabbing attack, which left me in intensive care. So that put me out then for another up to now. So yeah.
I was gonna say, like, getting back into camp. Was it really tough getting back into camp after the stabbing incident?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a fit lad, and I had to undergo lung surgery, and when I come out of hospital, they said I wouldn't train for at least 6 to 12 months. I wouldn't step in a boxing gym, and they also said I wouldn't box for at least 18 months to 3 years. That'd be until I was fit to spar and wouldn't pass a medical until then. Here I am 14 months after that, ready to compete in my 8th boxing fight in return.
That's an incredible story, like coming back from such a tragic happening to now coming back, making your return now, well, on the 1st of October. Have you just been so excited just to get back in the ring and just put it all behind you, what's happened?
100%. I mean, we've literally come from the ground upwards. I had to walk again and, get the fitness behind me to even walk a mile, never mind to run again. It felt like nothing was possible at the time. But to see how far I've come, in such a short space of time. I mean, after 13 weeks of being out of hospital, I was back in the gym with Scott Wharton, hitting the pads. So it's all been a mental challenge, the mental side. And I believe with a clear mind, you can do anything. And I've done exactly that. And I'm absolutely buzzing to be back. I mean, back on track and back doing what I love and continuing my dream on October the 1st at Kingswood.
Absolutely. I know it could be a bit of a sensitive question, but I got to ask, was there ever some point where you thought you wouldn't be able to return to boxing at all?
Yeah, I mean, I remember lying in hospital bed and surgery, they'd done the surgery and the surgeon come in and he was doing it at the front of my bed and there was about 4 doctors and he said, surgery's gone pretty well. And I was like, pretty well. Said, time will tell now over the next few days. And I said, when can I box? And he laughed. He went, box? So I'm a professional boxer. And he said, if you ever box again, he said, you're looking at least 3 years. He said, and that's an if. He said, but you've got to take your time in your recovery and take this seriously. You've been through a lot. You've got to let your muscles repair in your chest and let the lung reattach and stuff like that. And I remember just saying to him, I'll box before 3 years. And he said, Kaash, he said, you have to listen to me. He said, it's a big if at the minute. Time will tell. And I can't lie to you, I was supposed to return in May and the show got cancelled. And again, I felt like I was back at square one, and started to believe that I wouldn't box again. Shows getting cancelled, fights getting cancelled, the stabbing, other personal life issues. And it was like, is it finally going to crack for me? And now I'm sitting here 10 days away from a fight and I've never felt so grateful to be a professional boxer and be in the position I am. I believe everything happens for a reason. And I truly feel blessed to be sitting here on an interview just going, I'm returning in 10 days.
Yeah, it is an incredible story, and it's nothing less, and we can't just commend you enough, really. Sticking to what you want to do, coming back to boxing. So as well, we've got to talk about the return fight. As you said, 10 days time, Stoke, Kings Hall. Lee Connelly is the opponent. Do you know much about Lee? He's been in with many a tough man in his time.
Yeah, definitely. I've got a lot of respect for Lee Connelly. Do you know what I mean? I think you've got to be silly not to have respect for him. You know, he's a tough cookie. He comes for a fight, and he's well respected. You know, he's boxed kids that could only dream of boxing. Do you know what I mean? He's boxed like Luke Campbell and many other British and people who've gone into winning world titles. And he's a tough cookie, but I am 100,000% confident I'm going to come out there and deliver the performance of my career on October the 1st. It's been a long time coming, and the only person I'm in competition with is myself, and the only person who can beat me is Kaash, and that's the end of it.
Absolutely. It is really an inspiring story. And like you said, jumping straight in, Lee Connelly, like we said, been around the block. Like you said, boxed Luke Campbell. He's been in with loads of former world champions. Tough man, like you said. But I've also got to touch on the venue for the fight, back in Stoke. Could you really pick them a better place to return than your hometown in Stoke?
You know what, buddy? I'm absolutely buzzing. Like, it gives me goosebumps to think about it. Like, you know, I've got a good fan base. You know, I'm from Bearsden, and I've got a fan base from all over Stoke-on-Trent. I've got a fan base from everywhere. You know, I've got people coming from Stafford, Stoke, Birmingham, Walsall, you know, all over Stoke-on-Trent. But to be fighting in Stoke, I mean, I was going to be fighting and come back away from Stoke. We had something in the pipeline, which again, we made the right decision with. But I feel blessed to be returning at Kings Hall, and I can't thank back at my promotions, you know, and Scott Walton for giving me the opportunity to return in front of my own crowd. You know, I've done a lot of tickets, and I'm going to raise the roof. You know, I can't wait.
I was going to say, it sounds like it's going to be a special night in Stoke. But Lee Connelly test first. Once you come through that, are you going to be hunting for titles, or is it just going to be taking every step as it comes?
You know, we tried to get titles for the first one back. Looking at it now, you know, I believe I'm in a better position than if I was fighting for a title. I do need to get back in the ring. I do need to show people what I can do. I do need to show people that I've not just had 3 years off. I've still been in the gym. I've still done what I've got to do. And I've only evolved and developed as a man and as a boxer and as a person. So, you know, I'm excited to just show people that this isn't going to be just a dead performance because I've been out for 3 years. We won't be talking about no ring rust. I'm a more improved, better version of what I was in 2019. And I'm only going to show that. And I mean, I'm coming back with an explosive performance on the 1st October.
That's brilliant. Like I said, we're all looking forward to it. Obviously, we watch live along into boxing and on Boxing Social, as far as I'm told. Can I just ask prior to that, like obviously, big card, big fighter, like a big contingent of Stoke fighters on there. Just how good is it to just see boxing back in Stoke as well? You know, you see Nathan Heaney this weekend, the Stoke lad. He's going on fighting on the undercard of the box office show, Joyce Parker. Do you just think Stoke is a brilliant place to start off to start reaching the big shows such as Nathan Heaney's doing?
100%, yeah. Stoke's got a really big, it's got a big boxing culture. Do you know what I mean? And there's some very talented kids from Stoke-on-Trent. You know, you've got Heaney doing what he's doing. You've got Jamie Stewart. You know, look at his story. You know, the kid's an inspiration to many. And I'm boxing on his undercard, and I'm looking forward to that. You know, he's got Ben Fields, it's a cracking 50-50 fight. You know, you've got the likes of Kyle Davies, you know, Becky, you know, the only women boxer from Stoke-on-Trent. Who else have we got on the show? Crimmy. You know, now we've got 2 other lads coming through, Jack. You know, we've got some good kids, Cal, you know, the brilliant boxers. And then look at the amateur circuit in Stoke-on-Trent. You know, the list goes on. Willie Slaughton, probably the best boxer, I believe, one of the best talents to come out of Stoke-on-Trent in recent years, and that he's going to explode on the scene. You know, he's boxing for England at the minute. Stoke-on-Trent's the place to be for boxing at the minute. And I want to take Stoke-on-Trent boxing to that next level. You know, I'm from the era, even though I'm young, I'm from the era of Nathan Heaney, Jamal Ledoux, Josh Groombridge. You know, I turned pro when all they did, and I was 18 years old. I truly believe I'm going to take Stoke-on-Trent boxing to a new level in new heights. and I'm going to do it sooner rather than later. You know, we've got big plans, and all I've got to do is keep my head down, train hard, deal with the Lee Connelly on the 1st, deal with December, and then the world's my oyster. Let's go.
Absolutely. Just to finish off here, you know, like we said, inspiring story, bring you back. Just where can people follow your journey? Any social media they can find you on?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Kaash Johnson 99. You can follow me on Facebook. I've got an official page, Kaash Buttery Official, and my personal Facebook as well, Kaash Johnson. Also, I'm expecting a big following coming through on the 1st October, and we will be representing the Evade Way t-shirts. Evade Way's a campaign I set up weeks after I got out of hospital, a charity that we set up. We're going on tour with Staffordshire Police next year, and we're just getting to the root cause of knife crime, especially in Stoke-on-Trent, but I won't push it out. You know, I believe knife crime's a big problem in Great Britain at the minute, and if I can change one person's life or stop someone going down that path, then my job's being done, and it was worth me being stabbed.
That's a very worthwhile charity for people to be following, and it deserves all the recognition it gets. Kaash, I can't thank you enough for being so open and honest about what's happened over the past few years. Obviously, it's quite a touchy subject, but like you said, you've opened up about it, been honest, and you've raised awareness on it here with us at Injury Boxing. So thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. Can I just say a big thank you to my team? Down Impact. You know, they've stood by me through this, and they've got me in the shape of my life. My team up Stafford at Elite, and also all the sponsors that I've got. I've got some great sponsors, and they've stuck by me through a tough few years in my life. And I promise I'm going to repay the favour on the 1st October and get that win and move on to bigger and better things.
Brilliant. Kaash, we wish you nothing but the best going forward, and all the best, of course, for October the 1st. And thank you so much for speaking to Injury Boxing.
Thank you very much, buddy. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. All the best.